Hey, how about instead of me moving with you, you stay here with me?
Great idea! I'll just stay here.
Hooray! You're gonna stay with me!
Wait a minute. I can't stay here. I want to go where Deputy Wilson is going.
Since neither one of us wanted to leave our humans, we realized that our plans wouldn't work.
Wow, what a great story. So then what did you do?
Hamburger and I came up with another plan.
Should old acquaintance be forgot? It's another year of the show. Kenan Kel with Adam Aaron. I'm Adam.
And I am Aaron.
And this is Kenan Kel with Adam and Aaron, the show where we talk Kenan and Kel, and we're Adam and Aaron.
And I can see this, Adam. I don't know if you can see this, but I see this show evolving almost as like our just whenever we want to just like talk about whatever, we'll just frame it with Kenan and Kel, and then we'll just talk about it.
Yeah, Kenan Kel's as thinly veiled excuse for us to just talk about whatever we want.
We'll call this podcast will be called With Adam and Aaron in no time.
We're officially in season 7, Aaron, and this is going to be our craziest season yet, because it's the one that we don't know how many episodes there's going to be. We don't know how often we're going to do this. I'm surprised we're doing this in January, I'll be honest.
I'm surprised it's season 7, Adam. There's 4 for a show that's 4 seasons long. This is not supposed to happen.
No, but we're covering all the missing. We're dusting out the uncovered corners of Kenan and Kel's life work, and I guess as we slowly await new news for Kenan and Kel, there is no Kenan and Kel news this week, because if you Google search Kenan and Kel, the last thing that'll pop up is the article that we talked about in our last episode several months ago.
It appears that Good Burger 2 did not do the boys justice in terms of getting more publicity. That was kind of like their publicity was leading up to the movie, and it was the most streamed movie on Paramount Plus, right? It was like the broke the record for the most streams.
It was hugely successful for a Paramount Plus picture.
Yeah.
We're back in that nebulous time again. We don't know what the future holds for Kenan and Kel, so we traveled into the past, 21 years into the past, to look at an old episode. But first, we have business to take care of.
We do. This is something we said we were going to do many, many moons ago. Actually, It was many moons ago.
Yeah.
And now we're here to do it. We are here to
do things the Hemingway. So this is our kind of motto philosophy for 2024. Inspired by Kenan in the episode Doing Things the Hemingway, we are going to try to achieve our life goals as quickly as possible.
And give up all earthly possessions and live in Havana, Cuba, and get ferociously drunk every day and write amazing things. That's my plan, Adam. What about you?
Right. The Doing Things Correctly the Hemingway. So this is a funny thing I found. On the Doing Things Hemingway IMDb page, someone wrote out most of this scene of Kenan and Kel talking back and forth about Hemingway. And to quote Kenan Rockmore, check this out, Kel. Ernest Hemingway said in order for him to be a complete person, he had to do 3 things: plant a tree, bear a son, and fight a bull. Those words inspired Kenan himself to lay out his own life goals that episode: to save someone's life, which he does later that season, the president; profess his love to a girl, which he sort of does in Doing Things the Hemingway, as well as climb something really adventurous like Mount Everest. He settles for the Sears Tower. So, Kel has sort of life goals of his own, but he doesn't really get it. He wants to be an Eskimo, ride a bike naked, spank a walrus. You get it. We want to take on that philosophy, take on that challenge to, what do you believe, Aaron, you have to do to become a complete person? And can you do it by the end of the year? So when we re-review Doing Things the Hemingway.
So for me to become a complete person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Me.
Yes, you.
Okay. This is good. Adam, have you ever set a New Year's resolution that you've stuck to?
Not really. I know it's kind of cliche to say. Usually, I have a terrible habit of starting something and getting like 2% into it and never picking up again. Like I cannot keep that. Well, okay, I'll say the one time that I was able to accomplish something was across a month when I did NaNoWriMo. That's National Novel Writing Month.
I remember when you did that, and I was like, I should do that, and then 2 days in, it dropped.
Yeah. It was like the one time I was able to do it, and I think being in a college environment helped with that.
Yeah.
Like I think only one day I missed, and so I was like behind, like most of the time, and like last day I wrote 2 days worth. So it was It was like I felt I had a good pace. I was really disciplined, and I think that discipline. Usually, if no one's kicking me to do it, I won't get it done.
Yeah, I hear that. That's pretty much it. I mean, when my most disciplined period of life was when I was I ran track in college, and that was every day, and then the weekends and the meets, and it was just like super intense. And I don't really realize how intense it was. I didn't realize how intense it was until I wasn't doing it, and I was like, what do I do with all this free time?
Right.
I was spending probably 4 hours a day at least. Like that's a huge chunk of, that was like all of college really. Yeah, I've been recently, it's not a big win yet, but I've been like going to the gym like a few times every week. I'm not trying to do, like anything crazy. You're just trying to like go a couple times,
So Aaron, is it in trying to do things the Hemingway, your life goal to become a complete person, is it to go to the gym a few times a week?
No.
Okay.
That didn't even make the list. That's like that should be like the bare minimum I'm doing. I don't know if that's really fair.
It's not worthy of the list. What is worthy of the list?
Okay, so my number one. This one is the first one. This is the first thing I would like to do, but it's going to be the hardest thing to do, and I don't even know what to do first. So I wrote 3 things down because they're all related to each other. So I want to write a book.
Write a book, nice.
Which is crazy, but it's a nonfiction book. I have a premise for it, and so I don't really know if that requires first
nonfiction.
Yeah.
Boo.
I know.
Man, that's hard. You got to do all kinds of research.
No. I want to do a memoir.
Okay.
A spiritual memoir.
That's easy enough.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm thinking. But who would actually be interested in what I have to say? So I would like to try to find an agent whilst writing every day.
Okay.
Because I've heard that you're supposed to do maybe even just put together a book proposal and write every day. Like that would be a win in my book. Like having an actual book proposal that I can start to at least be ready to share. Because I heard you're not supposed to write a nonfiction book before you get it approved. I want to get a publisher. That'd be awesome. That'd be so cool. I'll probably end up self-publishing on Amazon.
But most people,
like all the other failed writers, no. But they say you should get a publisher and do the book proposal first for nonfiction, so they can kind of like direct a little bit of it, because it's not a true masterpiece. You know what I mean? Nonfiction.
Yeah. Oh, well, so I think it's a very solid one, Aaron.
Yeah, I need to make some progress on that, because I've had the idea for about 3 years now.
The advice is write a page every day. Or if not that, or at least write something. Forward momentum. I'll put words down on paper. Do it today.
I've read about 10 books on writing a book. So, so I think I'm ready.
Yeah. Eventually you get too much advice, and it's a bit hard to get started.
Yeah, the hardest thing is, the thing that you have to do is just sit down every day. And as Stephen Pressfield says, you have to honor the muse. You have to just let the spirit come to you, and whatever, the writing will happen. You have to write crappy first drafts.
Oh yeah. So I tried to look up the exact quote from Ernest Hemingway. I was unable to find it, but a couple people also cited it. But they listed that Ernest Hemingway said he wanted to do 4 things.
Oh.
4 things to complete in a lifetime to become a man.
Okay.
Yeah, those are his exact words, which is funny because I think by degendering it, Kenan Kel actually made it a little more acceptable. So his 4 things were plant a tree, fight a bull, have a son, and his 4th one is write a book.
Oh.
You, Hemingway, and me all agree that writing a book is an important thing. That's on my list.
Oh, nice. Let's do it, Adam. We should hold each other accountable or something.
Oh, sure, yeah. Mine specifically to publish a book. I've been working on an audiobook project for about 7 years now, off and on, not like regularly, but I'm sitting on I'm halfway through the last chapter of like the 6 chapters it is. It's not a, it's maybe about 40,000 words, like the bare minimum for a novel.
Awesome.
At the end. But yeah, the goal is to get that published the first half of this year, finally released into the world.
Nice. How do you want to publish it?
I'm going to release it podcast style and then self-publish it in a written form. So.
Nice. Are you going to like put it on Audible? Like, is that something that they let you do?
You can read your own book on Audible if you wanted to. Although I don't think it's long enough for their credit system.
Okay.
And honestly, I don't want it to cost anything. If you want to read it on paper, it'll cost like $1, but I want this to be something that everyone can hear.
Oh, nice. So, yeah, I'll listen to it. You kidding?
Absolutely. And yeah, the show will hold me accountable, so hopefully by the time that Redoing Things Hemingway happens, I'll be able to like literally plug where it is and where it can be found.
Yeah, nice. I like it. Me too. I'll have something.
Yeah, cool. All right, so that's a good first one. What's your number 2?
Okay, so this one I guess is closest to Fight a Bull.
Okay.
All right.
My number 2 is also very close to that.
Okay. So I want to build my own birdhouse and bird feeder and establish it in my backyard.
Wow. Okay.
That is my actual goal because I got some woodworking stuff for Christmas. I've been getting into birding and now I'm like, I need to put these two passions together. I need to literally kill 2 birds with one stone.
Not literally. You're making a house wrong if you're literally killing them.
I know. The house will explode when they get inside.
Yeah, you said that over the holiday. You want to embrace your inner Klaus and make...
Yeah. I want to be Klaus. Yeah. No, but I really like, sitting here. I'm at my desk. I look out towards the back, the backyard, and I would just love to have like a really cool bird feeder / birdhouse situation. Hang them from the tree.
That's good. I think it's really achievable too. I think that's
yeah.
It's achievable. Gives back. I think it might be a little more in the plant a tree. Like vein.
That's kind of what I yeah, it is more that one. Yeah.
Well, actually, no, because looking into it, I tried to say what. So the bull thing seems random. Why would Ernest Hemingway want to fight a bull? And apparently, to quote History Today, Ernest Hemingway's love of bullfighting bordered on obsession. So yeah, apparently he loved the sports. He had a visceral and undisguised love of bullfighting. That's why in a lot of his works, bullfighters and bullfighting is a prominent thing. Like The Sun Also Rises, For Whom the Bell Tolls. It's like a common occurrence in his work.
Right.
So I said to myself, okay, I don't have obsession is what this one is. It's kind of like to achieve your obsession. So I think that is a good end to your birding,
Yeah, right. That actually work at learning about birds and woodworking enough to create a little ecosystem in my backyard.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So mine, a passion of mine is of course Dungeons and Dragons.
I thought you were gonna say slam ball.
Oh man!
Try out for a slam ball team.
See a slam ball game. Is not gonna hit as well. I don't think I'm gonna accomplish as much.
Adam, come on, we'll go to Vegas. We'll watch the banana team, and we'll see slam
a ball.
Yeah.
That's not bad, Aaron. But mine is actually to run 10 great games of D&D. I'm a dungeon master for several different groups, and already this year I feel like I've kicked this off. I've had a couple.
Nice.
And I think 10 great games in 1 year is doable.
So you've already had 2.
Yep.
Well, that's a great start.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm 20% of the way there.
So you're creating different games for different groups?
Yep. Different great games, I think maybe across 5 or 6 groups maybe.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I was trying to figure out how best to word this, but I think 10 great games is a fine thing to strive for.
That's your goal.
Yeah, that's my goal. If I can accomplish that, I can say I'm a professional dungeon master.
I love it. I think it's awesome. I also I don't think you've talked about your love for D&D enough on this on this podcast. It hasn't come up.
If you have an interest in hearing me dungeon master a game of D&D, check out the episode Caught in the Riddle on my other podcast, Finding Monster Right. Links in the show notes if you want to hear a fun D&D adventure.
Okay, Adam. I have a feeling I know what your number 3 is. But I'm gonna say you should say this next one.
Okay. Yeah. Number 3 is I'm going to have a child.
Woo!
Scheduled for mid-July. It's very exciting. Alex and I are expecting our kid. Part of the reason why our podcast had a soft ending here.
What? You mean we shouldn't talk about Kenan and Kel forever and ever?
No. Kenan Kel is an important part of my life and something I certainly intend to share with a young one. We're having a kid and we're very excited for it, and I actually do think it's going to make me more of a complete person.
Yeah, how could it not?
Raising
that's awesome. That's amazing, Adam. Yeah. Yeah, what a great life goal. That's insight for the first time in your life.
Oh yeah.
Oh, are you going to name her Kelly or him Kel?
If it's a boy, I was really, really pushing for Kenan Kel Lemma. That was my goal. That was my top goal.
Kel. Do you think we would get them on the podcast then?
I think they'd have to come on.
Yeah. How about Ernest? If it's
Ernest?
It's a boy.
Ernest Hemingway Lemma.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. It's a solid name. Now we have names picked out, and time will tell what those are.
Yeah, please don't spoil it on this podcast. Although our Fantas are probably the people who know us best at this point in time.
Yeah. I don't think either name is featured in an episode of Kenan and Kel. So.
Well, that is just too bad. It's not Mark Cram.
No, I spelled M-A-R-C.
Yeah, no Mark Cram.
No.
Adam, that's so exciting. Awesome life goal. We're all so happy for you.
Thank you.
Even though it means that you have to spend less time on Kenan and Kel and clearly more time on Dungeons and Dragons. I should say just briefly, I wanted you to say that good one before I just said this boring one, but plan. I think my third life goal is to plan the wedding of myself and Camille, and who knows when it will actually be. But I would like to have most of the planning done in about a year, because then whether it's soon after or another sometime after, it'll be nice to have most of the stuff planned, so you don't have to like fret about it.
Oh yeah, I planned a wedding last year, and let me tell you, it can take a whole year. So.
Right, exactly. So I just want to that's our goal.
That is also good news. You are engaged. I don't know if our show announced that at all.
I don't know, babe. Yeah.
So
life is continuing.
Life's happening.
All thanks to our drive to do things the Hemingway, always and forever.
Aaron, I think that these 6 activities are going to make us complete people.
I think so. How could they not?
If you have 3 life goals of your own, share them with us at KenanKelPodcast@gmail.com or on our Twitter page. But we have more episode to get to, Aaron. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
This was just the warm up.
The real show is what happened on February 20th, 2003. And that is the episode Friends Forever of Clifford the Big Red Dog aired.
Best friends forever, ring.
So Friends Forever is an episode of Clifford the Big Red Dog, an animated show that I think we watched this growing up.
Oh, I watched it all the time.
Yeah, it was the before you go to school show.
That was also Spot. So Clifford the Big Red Dog and Spot were both shows about cartoon dogs.
Mm-hmm. A fact that I didn't learn until doing research for this podcast, but one of the main dogs, not Clifford, of course, that's voiced by the late great John Ritter, but his good buddy T-Bone is voiced by none other than Kel Mitchell.
Yeah, I did not know this growing up. Yep, but
listening back, it's kind of obvious.
Oh, it's obvious, and it's like, wait a second, is this why I love Kenan and Kel?
Oh, I will say that Kel is definitely doing a voice as the T-Bone character. He's kind of exaggerated, very playful. He's not talking his regular Kel Kimball voice.
Right.
But he is he voices Clifford's best friend T-Bone, and this particular episode guest stars Kenan Thompson.
It's a pretty great story, right? So T-Bone is a character in the show, and so he basically is sitting there with his other dog friends, and he's like, "Hey, my long lost friend is about to show up on the ferry."
Yeah. My best friend who we now live worlds away, which is funny because I think at this era in Kenan and Kel history, the exact opposite was happening to Kenan and Kel. I think this is their last project that they worked on before like the feud went down.
Oh, that's really kind of sad.
Yeah,
Because this is 2003, you said, right?
This episode, for like half an episode too, like it's like 11 minutes long. It's a real celebration of Kenan and Kel.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there are, I don't know if you caught them, Aaron, but I caught a lot of references to
Yeah.
the sitcom Kenan and Kel in this.
Sure.
So T-Bone is basically waiting for the ferry to come to Birdwell Island, where he and Clifford live.
That's the name of my new backyard, Birdwell.
Birdwell? Yeah.
It's like a bird spa. Bird spa and buffet.
Oh, wow. This sounds pretty nice, actually.
It says Birdwell. Sorry, continue.
Named after the creator of Clifford, Norman Birdwell. You see, Clifford it was the inspiration for him. The character that he wrote the books about was his wife's imaginary friend. Was this giant's red dog?
Oh,
So yeah, he wrote the stories
that's
and they adapted
concerning.
the cartoon. that's bad.
it's not bad, but I mean, it's giving me very much like what's the Jimmy Stewart bunny movie?
That's Harvey.
Donnie Darko? No, Harvey.
Yeah. Giving you Harvey vibes.
It's giving me Harvey vibes. Yeah.
Yeah, that can get pretty terrifying the more you think about it. I think you're also traumatized by large dogs.
I am. Why is that? Can you explain that part of my childhood to me?
Oh, I was talking about the presents, alluding to your big dog that you have.
Oh. No, he's not that big. He's a little fluff ball.
Uh-huh.
No, but I did have a very upsetting dream when I was a child. Recurring nightmare about a large dog at the foot of our steps.
That is kind of scary.
Yeah, and he talked to me.
It's probably from, yeah, the talking dog dream probably has its roots in Clifford.
Probably.
I'm just going to go out on a limb.
I watched a lot of dog. I had a lot of dog propaganda and imagery shoved at me as a young child. And then, eat fruit by the foot.
Listen, everyone was getting on the talking dog craze back then.
Right.
Around this time, Nickelodeon had their talking dog show. 100 Deeds for Eddie McDowd.
Yeah, that one didn't catch on.
No, it did not. Do you recall the premise for that show?
100? No, I don't.
So there's like a bully, right? There's this bully kid, and he gets transformed into a dog, and he has to do 100 good deeds in order to be turned back into a human.
Okay.
He's like a dog that lives with like the family of the kid that he bullied.
So I'm guessing he does like 2 every 30 minutes?
Aaron, every episode they did one. They did like one good deed.
It's for 30 minutes?
Yeah, and the show was
ambitious.
canceled.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say that's
only-
really ambitious.
there's only
They're
40
like, I know how
episodes.
we'll stay on the air.
No, there's only 40 episodes, so Eddie McDowd is a dog forever.
They're still out there.
Yeah, well, the show ended in 2002, so I don't think Eddie McDowd made it, Aaron. I think he...
No wonder I didn't. I mean, I wasn't watching it. Cat Dog. I mean, how do you follow Cat Dog?
You don't.
I guess Cat Dog kind of would count for talking dog.
Yeah, there's a talking dog and cat dog, yes. So we've painted a picture for you.
Before we get into it, there is a recent comment on this YouTube
Yes.
link.
I saw. This whole episode's on YouTube for the record. I'll post a link to it in the show notes.
From Adonis Mapother 1 month ago, who says, "Fun fact: Hamburger is actually voiced by Kenan Thompson. ... Kel Mitchell, T-Bone, co-star from Good Burger and Kenan and Kel." And then 6 days ago, MovieFan99 said, "And all that." And so, Adam, I think we should add a comment.
Oh, yes.
No shit.
Aaron, I'm logging into the Kenan and Kel YouTube page. And I'm going to post what I believe is our second comment. We said something on the blooper reel. Yeah, there you go.
That's there. Thank you, Adam.
Let's get into it. So yeah, T-Bone and Clifford are waiting for the ferry to arrive to Birdwell Island. And Cleo shows up. That's their poodle friend, who asks, "What's the big deal?" And
Real piece of work, that poodle.
Yeah.
I really threw you off.
You did. So yeah, T-Bone tells the story about how his oldest friend Hamburger is arriving today on the ferry, and they used to do everything together back when they were pups. So most of the story is told like through flashback.
Yeah, so they're playing with a ball. They're jumping over the lounge chair that folds up onto T-Bone.
Mm-hmm.
T-Bone's
they're running in
Hamburger.
circles.
Yep.
And the bit here, and I don't know if you caught this, Aaron. It's kind of a little subtle, but T-Bone and Hamburger are very similar. But Hamburger is slightly larger and isn't capable of doing all the things that T-Bone is, weight-wise. But if it's dexterity-wise, then Hamburger's got it, and T-Bone is the one that's messing up.
Yeah, and like getting through the doggy door, Hamburger gets stuck.
Hamburger's bad at that.
Yep.
Hopping on the lawn chair, it's like Hamburger's got it, but T-Bone, he falls all over that thing. Yeah, so they're kind of a dynamic duo, if you will.
Right. T-Bone is the sheriff's dog, and Hamburger is the deputy's dog.
There you go. Yes.
And the sheriff is white, and the deputy is just pointed out. The deputy is black. Because I don't know why I feel the need to say it, but I do.
I think you're noting that the main characters of the show, and it's unfortunate that the dynamic is this way in early 2000s kids cartoons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Aaron, I've got a crazy fact about this show to share with you. This show was dubbed for the UK.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also, Wesley must be able to watch it.
Yeah. Wesley, when Wesley was watching this show, Aaron, he did not hear Kel Mitchell. He heard a British fellow.
What?
All the characters are voiced by British people, which is wild
that doesn't make any sense.
There's an English-speaking version of the show out there that has everyone with British accents.
What?
Yeah, no, it's pretty wild.
Is there a diverse voice acting cast?
I'm sure it's famous people over there in the same way this is famous people over here.
Wow. That's something.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have let them do that to our American Clifford. Clearly, Clifford is American, by the way.
Well, kids' properties have altered like their morals in a sense over the years. Nowadays, like Peppa Pig, for example, and Bluey, like a British and Australian show respectively, they maintain the accents, and now there's like little kids running around with accents because of it. Right,
and I guess the British didn't want their youth talking like Americans even as recently as 2003.
Well, I don't know, maybe they were like really young, like little kids, but if you think about it, they didn't do that for like Kenan and Kel. Would it be really funny if there was a British dubbed version of Kenan and Kel?
What if they're... Yeah. I guess it's different with cartoons because young kids watch cartoons, and that's when they're developing their speaking, and they don't want them to sound like Kel Mitchell.
Honestly, that sounds like a very British thing to do.
Right.
Like,
we can't have our youth exposed to this American slang.
Those Yankee-sounding youth. We can't have that. You get it. They're running around. Aaron, the scene of them running around the sheriff's office. I don't know about the sheriff's office for you, but for me, I was very much inspired by I'm Gonna Get You, Kenan. Like, the big jail cell that's in there, which I think is hilarious to see in a kid's program.
Yeah. Just like in the sheriff's office. There's
they got a slammer, a clink.
Yeah, just inside. Yep.
Yeah.
I like the fact that there's rocking chairs and the sheriff and deputy like sit on the rocking chairs and rock together.
Yeah, they rock together. They're just best of buds. And they take off their hats and have the dogs like sit in them.
Yep. It's adorable. But yeah, they're chasing each other around, and then Hamburger is a little bit bigger, and then as he's trying to turn, he can't. T-Bone is weaving in and out of the fence, and Hamburger gets stuck.
Yeah, Hamburger, voiced by Kenan Thompson, gets stuck in the jail cell bars.
Yep. Very much fenced in vibes.
It's literally fenced in. This has to be a fenced in reference.
Yep.
Yeah, to him there. So, like, T-Bone's the best of friend. When he sees his friend get stuck here, what he says is, "Oh, I'll just go and get stuck with you." So he goes to the jail cell, and they just stay there until their owners let him out.
Which is so adorable, and also like if you look at it through the lens of what we know about Kenan and Kel at this time period, is that Kenan auditioned for SNL, got it, Kel didn't, and instead of sticking with Kel, he agreed to.
Aaron, I think it's the good timeline. I think this is like where the paths diverged. One,
right.
Kenan and Kel went to audition for SNL. Another two just became two dog friends. Yeah, so in this world, they're friends forever, as the title goes.
Yes.
Them sitting in jail, I'm also thinking of the other jail episode of Kenan and Kel, April Fools.
Right.
Yeah, which made me think that it'd be really funny if there's like a convict in here. There's like a burglar,
like a mean dog. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, right. A dog that's up to no good.
And like a dog with spike collar and.
I will say I'm happy that we got to watch this because it's slowly going to help me build up a tolerance to children's programming.
This episode specifically. I think you should just show your future child Clifford the Big Red Dog and then listen to Kel.
yeah. I think it's a good move. I'll get them. That's how you get your child hooked on Kel.
Right. Yeah, just the slow drip of Kel.
You start with T-Bone, then you get to Kenan and Kel. Yeah, it's a good method.
There you go. Yeah, Kenan and Kel by 3, right? Maybe not. It's a little young.
It depends how much of a hooligan you want your child to be, I guess.
Slam ball by 4.
Slam ball by 4. You can do slam ball pretty early. The sheriff and deputy are very much talking about how, oh man, our two dogs are gonna have it really rough when it's without each other, and it's kind of a sad thing. It got me in another Kenan and Kel episode mood. Bye bye Kenan.
Very much so.
It's very much that kind of two good friends having to go their separate ways.
Because the deputy is going to be moving, and with him will go Hamburger, and so they're going to split up.
Yeah. So initially, T-Bone has the best plan in the world. They start scheming. Yeah. And the plan they come up with is that T-Bone is going to pack up his things and go with them. That way, they won't be apart.
Which is really sweet.
Yeah. He in the front yard, he has a white sheet that he piles all his worldly belongings on.
His collar, his bowl, his bone, his ball.
Yeah, his leash, a boot, a mirror, a picture, a pillow, and funny enough, a suitcase. So he didn't use a suitcase to pack this stuff. The suitcase is part of his things.
He did put a lot of stuff in, and then it's piled really high, way bigger than he is.
Yeah, it's so high that the two of them cannot move this giant stack of belongings.
It's really cute. They both grab a corner and try to move it, though.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they start to do the math here. They start to piece together what's going on. And T-Bone realizes that he doesn't want to leave Sheriff Lewis. And Hamburger doesn't want to leave Sheriff Wilson. So there's no situation that they can not leave them and be together.
Right. They don't want to leave their humans. Which is really an adorable thing to think about. Of these dogs who don't want to leave their humans.
Are you tearing up over there?
No. No. That's how my dog feels every day when I leave. He's like, "What? Where are you going?"
Yeah, honestly, you're functionally to leave forever every day.
It's really he doesn't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
he's smart enough though to know he's like, okay, you'll come back later and then we'll play.
Oh, that's good. I don't know if every dog thinks that.
No, but Coda knows.
Yeah.
Coda can recognize patterns really well.
Sure, that's good.
He's a very intelligent dog.
Yeah, I think dogs in this show are kind of gaslighting children into thinking that dogs know more than they actually do. It's some dogaganda is what it is.
Okay, but do you know how people are not all of the same intelligence?
Oh, you think there's
it's the same thing with dogs.
Okay.
I mean, they're not all just stupid dogs. There's dog IQ.
Perhaps all the dogs in this show are Mensa dogs,
Right. That's right. Yeah. But no, there's definitely dogs that are smarter than children. Like young children. A dog is a way smarter. But then, it probably some dogs are only as smart as an 8-month-old baby, and then some dogs are probably about as smart as a 3-year-old baby.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, but that's probably the max. I don't think it goes more than 2 or 3. But yeah, no, there's definitely varying levels of intelligence.
So Hamburger's new plan is that, hang on, if Sheriff Wilson doesn't have his suitcase, he won't be able to leave. So they go up to his suitcase on the bed, and their plan is to get it out of there. Yeah, they hop on it, they try and close it. T-Bone can't close it by himself, but Hamburger jumps on it, and his added hamburger weight is enough to shut it.
Right.
They flip it off the bed, they flip it down over to the stairs, and then they knock it off the stairs, they run down after it.
It's really good teamwork. Like, they clearly
yeah.
have learned how to work together as dogs.
Speaking of team members, we were able to shout at these people that worked on Kenan Kel, because they did not work on Kenan Kel. In animation, you have the storyboard team. The storyboard team uses pictures to tell all the movement and stuff that happens in animation. Basically, they translate from words into like pictures, and then the animators translate from pictures into animation.
Kenan and Kel are both in the studio recording this. Mm-hmm. They don't have the animation in front of them.
No, they do not.
Might they have a couple clips of it?
They know what the characters are going to look like. They have written descriptions of what the scenes are, but yeah, first thing you do is make the audio track of what they're all saying, and then the storyboarders lay it out the way this moves from scene to scene. Honestly, I don't know enough about the process. I think storyboarding and the recording might go hand in hand.
Right.
Depends on the production.
It's a pretty complicated operation, though.
Yeah. Barry Caldwell and David Mucci Fassett are the two storyboarders for this episode. I think they did a great job.
They did a fantastic job.
Yeah. And I will say that there's more visuals going on than there's audio, the things that they're saying. There's a lot of just dogs being dogs.
Not much dialogue.
No. They push the suitcase to the bottom of the stairs. And who's at the bottom of the stairs, Aaron?
The deputy.
Yes, the deputy's down there.
Yep, the deputy is down there. Then he's very grateful for the dogs for bringing his suitcase all the way downstairs.
Oh, yeah. Their plan just backfired right in their face.
Just right in their face. And then we go to the dock at the ferry, whatever cool island town this is that just has like one sheriff, one deputy, a couple of talking dogs, and a ferry.
It's a real utopia, isn't it?
It's very nice, yeah.
It has an atmosphere that can support a giant dog.
Yeah, it's a great place.
Yeah, so that's what they do. They say goodbye. Sadly, Hamburger does this thing where he basically jump scares T-Bone. Like T-Bone's like, "Where is he?" And he's like, "Bam!" He's right next to him.
Yep.
They also do this handshake a couple times throughout the episode, which is like reused animation. Usually 3 times, but it's just this little fist tap up top, fist tap down below.
Like top, bottom.
They say a very sad farewell to each other.
Yeah, and then the deputy is like, I know you guys are going to miss each other, but it's okay.
We'll come back to visit soon.
Yeah.
And as Hamburger's leaving, the ferry that brought Clifford into the island arrives. These events are happening simultaneously. So that's the same day that T-Bone lost his old friend. He gained a new one. Basically, to get to the end here, the ferry does arrive. It's full of passengers. Oh man, T-Bone doesn't see Hamburger. Maybe he didn't make it. But bam, Hamburger's right next to him. And they hug in this awkward dog hug way and run off into the sunset together, being friends forever.
Yeah, it's really nice. And also there is a moment when Hamburger's on the ferry, driving, paddling away, and then he looks back and he's like, "Oh, I'm really gonna miss you." And then that's when Clifford shows up. It's really, really heartwarming.
It's very sweet. Aaron, do you think this is a good episode for kids?
Yes, because it's an important lesson to learn about friends moving away.
Yes. A friend of mine moved away when I was but a wee lad in first grade, and we still kept in contact, and we're good friends for a long time. So I think that it's a nice lesson that I think it could be very helpful to kids going through that kind of situation, because parents move. It's kind of a fact of life.
Yeah, it's very rare for you to keep that same core group of friends your whole life. It's it does happen, but for a lot of people, you make friends and then you move.
I think it's a good lesson too for millennials and Gen Z and people that are post college.
Yeah, right.
It's keep in touch with friends, maintain those friendships, because you get fewer and fewer as the years go on.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. Those college years after they move by, if you're fortunate enough to have them, there's no longer that group. It's not built in anymore. So the friends are out there, but you really have to make an effort to see people. That's true for any kind of friendship. You have to make time. It's just like writing. You have to show up every day.
It's very hard to go from an environment where you live with a whole like city worth of people your age to then you're in the real world and it's like, oh cool, I'm the youngest person for miles around.
Yep.
Yeah.
You work out with people every day. You run with them, and then you're like, okay, wait, now there's nobody to run with.
I think a lot of people, their just whole life attitude has to change because of this.
But you make new friends, or you continue to stay loyal to your people, and then good things happen.
Make new friends and keep the old.
Tie some yarn.
One is silver and the other's gold.
And that's how you do the scarn.
Yeah. So that's it for this episode. Aaron, out of 10 bottles of orange soda, how many would you give Clifford the Big Red Dog, Friends Forever?
In my old age, I'm becoming quite a softie, so I would give this 9.5 out of 10.
Aaron, that's ridiculous. This is not a 9.5 program.
Okay, fine.
There's no conflict. There's no.
All right, fine. I'd give it a 7.
Yeah, you can give this whatever you want. I don't care. You give it 9.5.
7.5.
I'll give it a 7.5 as well.
It was very sweet. It brought me back to my childhood. I remember one day I woke up late and I missed Spot on TV. It's like my first time ever sleeping in, and I cried just right there.
And then
I had my blanket. It was a Saturday morning. I had my little sweatpants on.
How did that change your life going forward? Do you sleep in now because of that, or against that?
I've been sleeping in recently, but there was a long period of my life where I did not sleep in. So maybe I didn't want to miss anything.
Well, there you go.
And now I have a dog that wakes me up, whether I want to wake up or not. Before we go, Adam.
Yes.
I have been editing the most recent podcast project that I've been working on. Mm-hmm. So this is a podcast I do with my friend. His name is Moody. He lives in West Philly. We started it way back when I was a teacher, and then we recently started it up again. So it's called In the Mood with Moody and Aaron. Yeah, I've been editing it. It's only we only recorded for 40 minutes, and I've been editing it for 4 days. So I need to just sit down and get it done. But anyways, I appreciate you editing all these episodes, Adam. It's no small feat.
No, it's down to a science. But thanks, and I'll be sure to check it out, and you can check it out too in the show notes. We're not sure when the next episode will be. It's probably gonna be some kind of interview.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of people lined up for that, and by lined up I mean they were once lined up. Who knows what that'll be? But you'll at least hear from us by the end of the year for redoing things the Hemingway.
I'm sure we'll update before then and when we can with all these life things happening. But we hope you set your own life goals and send us an email about them at KenanKelPodcast@gmail.com.
So thank you for joining us for another episode. Aaron, why don't you take us out?
Until next time, everybody. Here it goes.
Thank you for listening. You can send us an email at KenanKelPodcast@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at anchor.fm/KenanKelPodcast. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all at KenanKelPodcast.
Why?
As much as I want to jump into this, I do have to say that earlier last week, which isn't really an expression that's used very often, but I'll use it in this case. So earlier last week, I felt so inspired, and so I played there's an abridged version of Band Geeks on YouTube. It's just 5 minutes and the best parts. And
first of all, Band Geeks SpongeBob SquarePants episode. Also the
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Also the. I would argue that 11 minutes is the time you need to see the best moments of Band Geeks. It's hard to narrow that down.
I don't know how they did it. That is just the most incredible, just amazing cartoon episode ever.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
I don't think it's very difficult to make an argument that something else is better. But Man, Band Geeks is a great episode. It's the thrill of one more kill.
Oh, is that
the last one to fall?
Is that all you wanted to say? That was a good episode.
Yeah, give it a watch. Okay, and now on to Friends Forever.